What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Maj Toure Show. We got Kamala Harris fed up with the gays. That's what she's saying, at least to Rachel Maddow. For guys that's tapping in, welcome to the Maj Toure Show, where we talk about politics, sports, entertainment, pop culture, but we tie it into solutions because we are solutionaries. It is Tuesday, the 23rd of September in the year 2025. Allegedly. We say allegedly. We don't know. You don't know. Y'all don't even know what's in Antarctica. So we don't know. But anyway, guys, you coming in, hit the like button, comment, let me know what's going on. Rachel Maddow sat down with Kamala Harris, and y'all haven't seen Kamala Harris in a while. This is what they do. They tap in for a minute. They go hard. They disappear. They come back. They write a book. And now Kamala Harris is on her book tour, running around the country, promoing the book. She got a big chunk of money for this book too. That's what they all do. And they disappear, like she disappeared for the first 3 years of her vice presidency. Showed up when it looked like Sleepy Joe. Sidebar, has anybody seen Joe Biden? Nobody's seen Joe Biden. She pops up that year to be the person, and now we're here. Shouts to everybody in the chat. Heminica says she's prepping for the 2028 election. I don't know nobody is going to vote for her. I don't know anybody that I can take politically seriously that's going to vote for Kamala Harris. But we'll get into all of that tonight. Shouts to everybody tapping in. Tell me where you're from, what city you're from. If you're watching on X, make sure that you're reposting the show, sharing the space all over the place. We do not run ads. Why do we not run ads? Because we don't want to turn down some of our donors and get shot in the neck on a campus, and then people don't know what the hell happened to me. So we support the show by your donations. GiveSendGo.com/solutionary. We try to get 10 folks at $20 a piece for super chats, and that's what we're going to ask everybody to do. Reese in Seattle. Mahagan is in watching on YouTube from an undisclosed location. Big Rob says she prepping for busting them suds. She prepping to be in the house. Hey, listen, I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. At this point, I would have preferred to have Kamala Harris as the president, because it looks like the Republicans got super soft and spineless when Trump is in office, and now they in essence going along with everything that he says. Cancel culture, all of that. Republicans would at least push back if they could have pushed back. It seems like people always want to push back against women. Seems like that's the case. Everybody want to push back against the woman because it's a seemingly easy target. Robberies, rapes, all of that. Trump in office doing unconstitutional moves, and y'all want to be quiet as hell. So I don't know. If she run, maybe I will vote for her. Because unless it's a libertarian, maybe Larry Sharpe will run. Who knows? But anyway, guys, we're going to play this video right quick. This is where Rachel Maddow sits down with Kamala Harris, and she asks her about Pete Buttigieg. Now, we all know that Pete is a mo. We all know that Pete is a flaming pile of sticks. Let's say it that way. Let's just say he's a flaming pile of sticks. We know that. And let's see what our sister Kamala, she down. Hot sauce in the bag energy, Clinton energy. Let's see what she has to say about Pete Buttigieg and why she didn't run him as her VP.
I guess I'd ask you to just elaborate on that.
She had already said he's too gay. Y'all know the title of the show. He's too gay. Rachel Maddow is also gay. Okay? And so after Kamala says he's too gay, this is Rachel Maddow's perspective. Shouts to the chosen one for reposting the stream on that.
I guess I'd ask you to just elaborate on that a little bit. It's hard to hear.
Yeah.
With you running as, you're the first woman elected vice president. You're a black woman and a South Asian woman elected that.
She's not a black woman. She is an Indian American. All of her other races she ran as an Indian American. But the pesky facts getting in the way.
High office, very nearly elected president. To say that he couldn't be on the ticket effectively because he was gay is hard to hear.
No. That's not what I said.
That's what she said.
That he couldn't be on the ticket because he is gay. My point as I write in the book, is that I was clear that in 107 days, in one of the most hotly contested elections for president of the United States, against someone like Donald Trump, who knows no floor, to be a black woman running for president of the United States,
Indian American,
and as a vice presidential running mate, a gay man, with the stakes being so high, it made me very sad, but I also realized it would be a real risk.
we can't rely on the gays. We can't rely on the gays on this one. It's getting close. Donald Trump's going to wrestle us to the ground. We don't know if we want gays in the space.
No matter how, I've been an advocate and an ally of the LGBT community my entire life. So it wasn't about
Gay friends.
it wasn't about yeah, right. So it wasn't about any prejudice on my part, but
That
we had such a short period of time, and the stakes were so high. I think Pete is a phenomenal public servant,
but not phenomenal enough to be your vice president.
and I think America is and would be ready for that.
But I didn't pick him as my VP candidate.
But when I had to make that decision with 2 weeks to go,
We're going to stick to the heteros. We're going to keep the gays in the backdrop.
and maybe I was being too cautious. I'll let our friends, we should all talk about that. Maybe I was. But that's the decision I made, and I, as with everything else in the book, I'm being very candid about that.
Yeah.
With a great deal of sadness about also the fact that it might have been a risk.
Okay, I'm going to tell y'all the truth. Y'all tap into the show for me to give the objective truth. Okay? Basically, what she just said was, well, the fags are risky. The fags are risky. And the gays, the fags, the LGBT, she messed up the LGBTQ. This is what she said. In the same breath, she has doubled down on it's somehow Donald Trump's fault. And while contradicting herself and saying, this guy's a great public servant. This guy, I think America's ready for that. But I only had 2 weeks and the faggots can't be on my team. That's how that reads. Ironically, she got with Vance. Oh, I'm skipping Vance. Whatever his name is. And this is how these people are. I can't even remember Harris. Whoever his name is, Harris Waltz, right? I can only remember Waltz based on him being attached to her name. These vice presidential candidates is wild. Okay? So we don't even remember him. So what she said was, I'm going to go with a guy that kind of is gay, but isn't one of the actual gays. Tim Walsh is the most marshmallow, pudding pop, cream pie, establishment soft dude that you could ever hear in your life. So she split the diff. She said, we're going to keep the gays on the back burner. We already got their vote. See, and this is why you guys tap into the show, because we have to have talking points. The Democrats automatically accept that they have the black vote, they have the LGBTQ plus vote, and she's openly saying, and I think she's saying it a little bit more tongue in cheek because she's trying to sell them books. By show of hands, somebody tell me in the chat who's going to buy the book. I'm not going to buy this book. I'm not going to read it. I'm not going to listen to it on Audible. I don't care. I don't care. There is nothing that Kamala Harris, first of all, let's get to why I would never vote for Kamala Harris. Because I know some of y'all going to say, oh, Maj, you kind of like a sexist. And that's not it. And it's not because she's a Democrat. I would buy a book by a Democrat. The Audacity of Hope is one of the best books in my arsenal. Barack Obama was one of my favorite presidents, not because of policy, but because of what he had to endure in order to become the president. I would have been smacking people and shooting people. That's like the disrespect and all of that. I'm not with it. Okay. There's a certain level of discipline that goes along with maintaining your cool that I have to work on. Okay. So saying this to say, Barack Obama was one of my favorite presidents for that reason. But he's a Democrat. Okay. He's an author. I like the book. So I wouldn't not vote for her or not buy her book because she's a woman or a Democrat. I just know that she is horribly, horribly, horribly incompetent. And before we get to where I think she started sliding off of a cliff, okay? And let me throw some meat out there because some of y'all still going to try to make this about sexism. And you're a moron if so, okay? You're a moron if so. Let me be very clear about this. There are women that I would have loved to see run for presidency. Okay? One comes to mind. She's from actually Mississippi, Alabama. I always forget her name. Condoleezza Rice. Condoleezza Rice. I would have loved for she's sharp. She understands politics. She understands international affairs. She's not cackling like a hyena every 20 seconds. Condoleezza Rice would have been sharp as hell. She knows what happens when you put people through the political meat grinder. Pause. Right? So I want to get that out there because I don't want y'all to play it like Maj is just da-da-da-da-da. Nah. 1,000% Condoleezza Rice. Now, the reason why I would never have voted for Kamala Harris, or the reason why I would have, I will never buy a book from Kamala Harris is for one reason. You're a fucking prosecutor. Your job for a very long time was to lock the people up for nonviolent offenses in California. You were the top cop. So the irony, and I don't forget this, my memory, I might have some short-term memory issues, but I do not have long-term memory issues at all. I remember shit that I don't even know how I remember from 50,000 years ago. Okay? This is the same person that advocated for men that were up to be released in the California penal system for nonviolent cannabis offenses when cannabis was lawful in California. She advocated against it. Why? Because she, quote, said California needed the free slave labor, the prison labor. You are a prosecutor. I will never vote for a prosecutor, ever. I will vote for people that are defending. I'll vote for a public defender. You are literally, the job tells you, I want to defend the public. I don't like most of their attorneys. Like they got like, if you got a public defender, be careful. Maneuver properly. Okay? However, I'm not a fan of anybody that starts to, I can see their intellect decline. We started to watch Kamala Harris damn near on the same trajectory early on as we saw with Joe Biden. The nervous cackling when you can't think of things, the drinking, all of that, I'm not a fan. You disappeared and you try to attempt to, I'm not supporting anybody that tries to curry favor with my vote, curry, pun intended, because she's Indian American, okay? I'm not attempting to vote for or support anybody that only wants to deal with me as a politician, as a potential public servant, when the only thing that you got to offer me is rap music and entertainment. That's disrespectful as hell. I don't need to see Meg Thee Stallion twerking talk to me about ending the Federal Reserve Bank. Talk to me about where the hell you been this whole 3 years when Joe Biden was absolutely wrecking the economy. And then a year into this election, going into You, who was not democratically elected by your own, nominated by your own party, you were not. You weren't twice. I don't forget any of that. And now you think since you didn't get the spot, you lost. You lost. And since you did lose, now you think you're going to get a bag off of me after you got a bag from a publisher, because a publisher don't get you to write a book like of that magnitude and fame and levels of known. Publishers giving you a hefty chunk up front. So now you got a bag from them. And now you expect me to buy your book, and there's nothing enticing, intelligent, and you're a prosecutor. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Bookworm says, let me read some of these comments. Bookworm says, who else should do the job? Which job? Which job? The fact that she said that Green's comment with my mayor and that nigga danced when she said she put bacon in him to the gulag. Yeah, that whole and that appealed to me. You're appealing to me through culture. Solutionaries. I don't give a shit what any politician, what they like. Oh, he likes to eat ice cream. I don't care. I don't care what you eat. I don't care what shows you watch. I don't care what sports. I don't want a photo op. I want you to talk about things that are going to be in alignment with limits in government, doing the job as a president, which there's 3 of them, command the armed forces, defend the Constitution, secure the borders. That's the 3 jobs of the executive branch. Not have 200 executive orders and actions. No. Okay? I don't care that you can dance with the people at a HBCU. You're the same person that is articulating your reach to the black community, the LGBT community. The fact that you even put them 2 together all of the time is part of the problem for me. Why black people got to have everything associated with some other movement? Why our movement got to get co-opted? What's going on? But nonetheless, you the same person that tried to curry favor, okay, with that situation, with the black community, only using art and entertainment, but yet and still there's videos of you absolutely jumping out there talking about how I'm not going to say I'm going to do something for the black community only. I'm not going to say I'm going to sit up here. This is literally video of her saying that. So you want to curry favor with the black community, the LGBT community. You want to talk about you're an ally, all of this other stuff, but you won't do nothing for that specific community. You want to specifically target those communities to extract the benefits with no legislation or repealing legislation that's going to be beneficial to those communities. I can't take you serious. Let's listen to it again. Y'all tell me tell me where I'm wrong. She said this in front of a gay woman. I ain't get Pete on my ticket because Pete is too gay. The homos, we like you, but not too much. We can't give you a job now. This ain't San Francisco. Let's play it.
I guess I'd ask you to just elaborate on that a little bit. It's hard to hear.
Yeah.
With you running as, you're the first woman elected vice president. You're a black woman and a South Asian woman elected to that high office, very nearly elected president.
No, she wasn't. Stop. She was not nearly elected president. She got mollywopped. How many people? All right, keep it real, y'all. I want y'all to keep it real. How many people in the chat voted for Kamala Harris? Just type it. I'm going to hit play. How many people in the chat, if you feel like sharing, because I'm old enough to remember when people didn't talk about politics and religion as much as we do now in our personal vote. So if you want to maintain that privacy, I understand. All right? But how many people in here actually voted for Kamala Harris?
Be on the ticket effectively because he was gay. It's hard to hear.
No. That's not what I said.
That's what you said.
That he couldn't be on the ticket because he is gay.
I'm not saying it's because he's gay, but
point, as I write in the book, is that I was clear that in 107 days, in one of the most hotly contested elections for president of the United States, against someone like Donald Trump who knows no floor.
Basically, he's going to talk bad about if my VP is gay. So let's blame and deflect on Donald Trump. We didn't have enough time. Gay people should actually be upset at this. you're good enough to get the vote from me, and you acknowledge that this is a big voting block, or so you say. I even question if it's that big of a voting block. I don't care. I don't care, right? It's like, maybe it's obviously bigger. Like, you got that one meat gobbler that's a gay dude that's a conservative. What's his name? Rob Smith? He's an absolute meat gobbler. 1000% marshmallow. Bitch made all day long, right? So, but most of the LGBTQ whatever is on the left. But I contend it's still a small amount of the situation. Gay people should be offended by this. I'm cool enough to get the vote from and target and market, but I'm not cool enough to have the representation in the second most powerful position potentially in the world.
To be a black woman running for president of the United States and as a vice presidential running mate, a gay man, with the stakes being so high.
You faggots, the stake. You guys aren't. This is how this comes off to me. If I'm hearing this, let's replace it. Let's play a game of whataboutism. If this was a white dude saying this, it basically would read like, you fags are cool and all, but I don't know if we can put you in a position. We don't know. We don't know if we're that ready. We don't know if America's that ready. And I damn sure wasn't ready to have one of you on my ticket. This sound like some goofball shit.
It made me very sad, but I also realized it would be a real risk.
Everything in politics is a risk. No risk, no reward. No risk, no reward. But now all of a sudden, we getting into, it would have been it would have been risky. Having Meg Thee Stallion twerk on stage, that's not risky though. Not talking about no actual policy. Their whole campaign was Donald Trump is bad. I didn't hear them talk about funding HBCUs. Okay? None of that. You didn't speak about any of these things. But the entertainment and the debauchery, Cardi B, it's not risky to not talk about actual legislation with your potential constituents. That's not risky. But you gays are risky. That's what she's saying.
No matter how, I've been an advocate and an ally of the LGBT community my entire life. So
I want y'all to be very clear. When somebody starts going, I have black friends, I have white friends, it's not that. That same energy is like when white bulls be like, well, if the rappers use it, why can't I just say it? It's the same house. It's the same house. Come on, now, I'm not a racist. I can't be racist. I dated a black girl in college. It's the same thing. She didn't even say LGBTQ right. I've been an advocate and an ally. They use these words. They use these words to buzzwords to get you. See, this is how intellectual warfare works. They get you to accept words. They don't have to be substantial. The word is a symbol. You identify and associate and attribute value to the word. So when she says, I am an ally, by literally then saying, but I didn't want to create an alliance with the gay dude. But I'm an ally. The blacks, I watch football all the time. I watch basketball. And then when you start having a conversation about black ownership of an NBA team, you got to be Michael Jordan. Literally. The only black majority owner in the NBA has been Michael Jordan. You got to literally be the greatest basketball player of all time. This is how the mindset of these people work. So she rushes right to that. I'm a friend of the LGBT. I pronounce it better than her. Okay? Sean has a good point here. Guys, make sure you hit the like button. GiveSingo.com/solutionary. Support the work. Y'all tap in every night to the show. Let's support the Second Amendment work. Okay? GiveSingo.com/solutionary. And let's get some super chats. Listen, for everybody that's doing a super chat, right? If you know a small business, you know somebody doing some good community work or something like that, put their website, put their social media, even if it's yours, put your social media in the super chat if you're watching on YouTube. Okay? We got to fund this work. Fund this work. Or I'm going to have to get a book deal and I'm going to have to go on Stu Peters' show arguing with him about racism because y'all don't support the work. Y'all want me to have to do that? Y'all want me to go on the media circuit saying foolish things to generate energy? Because I think that's what she's doing too. She just threw the gay community under the bus in order to do it. Okay?
It wasn't about yeah, right. So it wasn't about any prejudice on my part, but
it wasn't about any prejudice on my part, but y'all ever watch Jerry Springer and it's a dude and they're in a relationship, right? And then the dude comes out or the girl comes out and tells the dude, baby, you know I love you, right? But I need to tell you something. I'm a man or whatever it is. But it's always going to come to nullify what you just said. You know I love you, right? But no disrespect, but
we had such a short period of time. And the stakes were so high. I think Pete is a phenomenal public servant.
He's one of the good gays. He's phenomenal. Oh, he does the way that he puts together his fashion. Oh my God, he's great. Oh, he cleans my closet so well. Y'all know that's what Joe Biden said about Barack Obama when he was running. Before Barack was going to pick him, okay, he said, oh, this guy, he's one of the clean ones. If I'm lying, I'm flying. He's so clean. He's one of the clean ones. And y'all know Biden was friends with Strom Thurmond and all of that. But this is from that same elitist leftist energy. You cool, hey man, you can cook my food, but get your ass in the back door.
And I think America is and would be ready for that. But when I had to make that decision with 2 weeks to go.
When it's 2 weeks to go, give me a straight man. I can't rely on your gays. You guys, I can come to you for your fashion cues, television ideas. Maybe you can, if I'm writing a script, I can rely on you gays. But it's 2 weeks. You guys are good for entertainment. I can't have you in having the nuclear codes. I only had 2 weeks and you guys are phenomenal. That is the same energy if y'all saw Malcolm X, the movie where Denzel played Malcolm, right? And his teacher told him when he was little, don't be a doctor. That's you got to pick a job that's good for, be a carpenter. That's good work for a Negro. Jesus was a carpenter. It's good work for you. Now, don't get me wrong. The tradesmen, shouts to the tradesmen and the tradeswomen. Let's be clear. So, I don't want y'all to think I'm shitting on them. Okay? I'm learning welding. Leave me alone. When the zombie apocalypse hit, your liberal arts degree ain't gonna matter for nothing because you owe $200,000 on that. Let's start there. But when the chips was down, she says, "Yeah, I need a straight man." And hey, I'm not mad at her. I agree with her, actually. I agree with her. I think leadership should be strong, solid men. And I don't think, and this is me. This is what some of you are going to label homophobic. Let me be very clear. I am a straight man, okay? The reason why people matriculate towards Trump, who is literally everything that they say, oh, the blacks have babies out of wedlock. The blacks have multiple baby mamas. The blacks can't start a business. That is literally Donald Trump. That's Donald Trump. That's Andrew Tate. That's all of these people that y'all kind of like. Trump done been to bankruptcy. Cool. He got it. They didn't like him. He had to start over and figure it out. That's every black man in America. He got several baby mamas. Main man got the porn star stripper said he was cracking her while he had Melania. Don't talk to me about the black man and all. Man, listen. Straight leaders that are of a certain ilk, okay? The Elon Musks of the world. We don't want to talk about that, though. Elon ain't married. Elon got 14 children. And that's not hyperbole. Okay? So saying all of this to say, when the chips are on the line, you want some of that toxic masculinity. You don't want the soft, feminine marshmallows. So I kind of agree with her, but we can still expose her contradiction. The women are going to agree with me. Said no woman ever. No woman ever said, you know what? When it's time to change the tire, change the oil, fix the roof, my gay friend would be just the person I need for this. That shit said no woman ever. Stop. Stop it. So I agree with her. She made the right call. She just wasn't the right candidate. Y'all should be calling a contradiction as my friends on the left, solutionaries on the left. You should be calling a contradiction. She told you right there. Let's run it back. She told you what it was.
But when I had to make that decision with 2 weeks to go,
I can rely on you gays.
you know, and maybe I was being too cautious. You know, I'll let our friends, we should all talk about that. Maybe I was. But that's the decision I made. And I, as with everything else in the book, I'm being very candid about that.
Yeah.
With a great deal of sadness about also the fact that it might have been a risk.
There's no sadness to this with Kamala. There was no sadness. She already knew she had your joint locked in. I got your vote. That's like when people be like, yo, somebody actually said this to me. Somebody actually said this to me a while ago. A couple days ago. They was like, yo, Maj, why you don't go try to get on Candace show again? Why? I already did that. I already did Candace show. I don't want to do nobody's show. I want to talk to y'all. I don't want to do the Breakfast Club. I don't want to do maybe Joe Rogan because I think it would be a good conversation. And obviously it's the biggest, you know what I mean, to spread the word of our work. Speaking of our work, givesendgo.com/solutionary. Support the work, guys. All right? Also, go to blackgunsmatter.shop. You can get some merch. Support the work either way. Go grab some merch, man. It's hoodie season. Okay? Y'all walking around with these, some of y'all, man, y'all walking around with cartoon characters on your shirt. You're not projecting a message of pro-freedom, pro-liberty. Do that. So go to blackgunsmatter.shop. Get some works. Get some In the War on Masculinity shirts. I am okay with this so-called toxic masculinity. I'm good with it. I am controlling. I am a conqueror. I struggle having to listen to people and telling me what I gotta fucking do. I struggle with that. You know why? Because I'm a fucking conqueror and my testosterone levels are up. Okay? Go get some merch. Support the work. The reason why we in the space right now is because we allowed the pussies to take over. You allowed it. You allowed it. You are 1,000% responsible because it started with sports. Y'all were okay with them hand checking out the NBA. Man, you ever watch some of them old games? Y'all understand that back in the day on the sidelines, football players used to smoke Newports on the sideline. But then you let the pussies take over. You women, it's your fault too. Y'all started talking about you need somebody that's emotionally available, emotionally understanding. No, you don't. No, you don't. You need a man that has emotional intelligence and loves and cares for you, that goes outside and makes some fucking money. Okay? It's your fault. You went from And ironically, it's operating in opposition to what the very nature of what you are. In every single area, we started the most effeminate thing and then projecting it onto the men. And some of you men went with it. Some of you men went with it. Y'all was okay with it. Soon as I knew it was over. As soon as they took hand checking out. I knew. Now we got basketball players talking about load management. Pause. Oh, I'm not playing today because, I don't want to go back to back. Y'all got men wearing tennis skirts and y'all cool with it. I will never succumb to that agenda. If your man doesn't study, lift weights, and shoot guns, you got a fucking girlfriend. You got a girlfriend. But Kamala Harris and all of these people are aligned with it. And they align with it when it's beneficial. They don't really align with it. They talked all of this black shit in the world. I watched Kamala Harris and others talk about the white people are this, the white people are that, and okay, maybe they are. I don't care. I don't know. You need a better circle of white homies, not none of my white homies. But nonetheless, I watched them say all of that, and they show you the contradiction all day. They get on there and talk about, let's go with Kamala. When she was running for president against Joe Biden, she literally said he was a white supremacist. I seen it. Y'all all seen it. She called him a white supremacist on the debate stage, the Democratic debates. She said it. Fast forward a little bit. We did it, Joe. Contradiction. This is the same person that talk, white supremacy. Okay, you super pro-black, right? You go target the HBCUs, right? If it's white supremacy, what about your husband? The white dude. What are we talking about here? But y'all allow it. Y'all allow this slick shit. Or you do the opposite where you go too far. You go too far to the point where, and this is where we as solutionaries are balanced and nuanced. You go too far. The left calls everything racist. You get tired of being called racist. So then you start being racist. Fuck it, they calling me names anyway. Y'all all running around look like your whole theme song is Keisha Cole, I should have cheated. Since he's saying I cheated, I should have cheated. Y'all are not maintaining a standard, which ironically, you start to look like the actual thing that the propaganda machine says that you are. And then you start doing. We're watching it right now. This is why Charlie Kirk, so many people in the right would be like, yo, dude was a racist. But when convenient, people like her, they throw you right under the bus. Look, right here. Harris not so subtly takes a shot at her running mate, Tim Walz, for losing his VP debate. It was actually tied within a margin of error. Harris' book seems to be full of ways that others let her down. Haven't seen excerpts yet. But let's read this. But she and her staff, like Governor Tim Walz of Minnesota, his charm, but believed his background balanced hers. Hold up. Throughout the book, she struggled to reconcile her personal affection for him with disappointment in moments she felt he stumbled. During a vice presidential debate against J.D. Vance, whom she called the shapeshifter, when they start saying stuff like that, I start believing in the lizard people and the reptiles and maybe the earth is flat. I'll go into my Dr. York bag, Malachi Z. York, when they start saying shit like that. He's a shapeshifter. Lizard people, Illuminati, Anunnaki, all of that. So I want to be clear on that. Okay? I'm a little nervous about that. But anyway, whom she called the shapeshifter, Mr. Walz began nodding along. Miss Harris was aghast. You're not here to make friends with the guy who is attacking your running mate, she said to the television screen as she watched. Let me be very clear. This lady is a representation of what extreme leftist policy, propaganda, and media does, and the political machine. They'll use you. She just said she thought Pete was amazing. Pete's a great public servant. I don't think he is. The people in Texas don't think he is, right? But she'll say that and then pick somebody that's a goofy. Waltz, we all clear that this, I mean, come on, y'all. There's nobody in the chat that thinks Waltz was anything other than a goofy. Everything about his body language, his mannerisms, his glasses. I feel like DMX talking about Drake. God bless the dead of DMX. I hate everything about Drake. I hate the way he talks. I hate the way he did. I hate everything about Tim Waltz. I hate the way he walks. I hate how soft he is. Something, bro. So she split the diff. She got a straight, allegedly straight dude that could appeal to the softer side. Got a nice little beta. Then after you get the beta, now you want to complain that he was being a beta. They will throw you away. The scary part is this is what the political machine has turned into across the board. This is what happens. Let me see. Let me get out of this joint. Let's go to another one, though. I, for one, would very much like to know who these Philadelphia power brokers were. I mean, I could guess, but I'd like to have that confirmed. Listen to this. Minutes before, this is the people that I post, y'all, get them some love when I post whoever has these stories up. Minutes before she was to step on stage at a presidential debate in September 2024, she received a call from Mr. Biden. He relayed that his brother told him that she was bad-mouthing him and that several power brokers in Philadelphia were threatening not to support her because of it. Mr. Biden went on to insist that his own disastrous debate performance had not hurt him with voters, and that he had beaten Mr. Trump. These people, like her, are 1,000% going to use you as disposable. You are a single packet of sugar on an airplane today. Okay? If you're in your house, and I'll explain this, what I mean by this. If you're in your house and you having a cup of coffee, right, and you only got one pack of sugar, you might be a little upset if you're making coffee. But if you're on an airplane and you got one pack of sugar, right, and you get that one cup, you appreciate it. You're going to use the hell out of it, and you're not even going to think about it at all. It's actually what she does with every single, she's done it with every base. She used the Indian American thing till it didn't work no more. Why did it work for her? Because she was in California. And contrary to what media done told y'all, white Americans aren't at the top of the totem pole financially in America. It's Indian Americans. You ask anybody that got a business that does business in them areas. It's 1,000% Indian Americans. They pool their resources. They know how to keep the trifecta together. Their culture, their economics, and their values. Any culture that keeps those together, culture like religion, where they spend their money and give their money and get money, their economics, and their values, their family values. Any company or family or whatever that keeps those together, they high. Mr. K2B2 says Asians. I mean, technically Indians are Asians. What are you talking about? India's in Asia. Indian Americans are at the top of the median income in America. So she leveraged that until it was not advantageous, and she went into, she's the J-Lo of politics. When J-Lo wanted to be hip-hoppity, she started with In Living Color. Yeah, I know. You whippersnappers don't even know what the hell In Living Color is. I know. Y'all don't even know who the Wayans. Y'all think the Wayans brothers is the two goofy ones. No. You don't even know who Keenan is. But okay. Damon Ivory. I get it. Y'all don't know. But nonetheless, she starts here. She's in that lane. She goes a little further in that lane. She's with Diddy. She's off of it a certain level. The shooting happens with Shine. She's off Diddy. She wants to go in the direction of Latin. She gets with Mark Anthony. Got him for bong, for money and twins. Bong. Wants to get off of that. Got the Latin demographic. Wants to go to white America. Wants to go the movie route. Bong. Ben Affleck. Director and actor. Smart chess moves. I ain't mad at it. That's what Kamala Harris is. She is the J-Lo of politics. And she used all of y'all. And when I say all of y'all, I'm talking to some of my followers that still identify on the left, because I still treat y'all as Americans. I'm not the person that's going to be mad at y'all because y'all are left. I just know that you're currently goofy. I just know that we ain't read the same books. I know if you a Democrat and you black or white or anything in between, I know that you don't know the story of Frederick Douglass. That's all. That's all. No big deal. So it's not an attack on you. It's an attack on your bullshit ideas. Again, I told y'all this is intellectual warfare. War is not just fought on like bombs and buildings. It's your mind. Think about the certain level of war that has to happen, that you are repeating a thought and you don't know where you got it from. They put you to sleep. They practice inception. They put something in your mind. They put something in your mind and now you think it's your own thought. If that's not asymmetric warfare, I don't know what the hell it is. So this is what she does. Ain't no power brokers. There was no power brokers in Philadelphia that told her that. That's not what happened. No, that's not what happened at all. That's not what happened. Let's read this. Kamala Harris in her new memoir expresses reservations about transgender athletes. She's a slick one. Transgender athletes competing on girls' sports teams, echoing other national Democrats who have voiced a position long associated with conservatives. I'm going to tell y'all what this play is now here too. Okay? Because y'all got to pay attention to this. I told an interviewer on the realest podcast ever. I did that in Philly. That was the title of it. And he was like, yo, Charlamagne's calling out some of the bullshit. And I'm like, no, we not. But I'm gonna bring that back together because I'm going to tell y'all to play. My job is to tell y'all what's happening and tell y'all what they trying to do. Okay? She says, national Democrats who have voiced a position long associated with conservatives. President Donald Trump's campaign hammered Harris over her positions on trans rights, releasing a now famous ad with the tagline, Kamala is for they, them. I am for you. Number one, that is hilarious and it's great marketing when the Trump administration did it. And this is why I like Trump. I like even the women. Y'all know why women like me? Because I'm toxic. I'm toxic. Everything that y'all been told is toxic. I'm it. Strong, aggressive, direct. But what they don't tell you is cat. It's not really toxic. I'm just telling y'all that's what y'all identify with. Because I speak to your soul. Wait a minute. He's in shape. He can work out. He's smart. He's reasonably attractive whenever he gets his hair done. Right? If he shaves here and there. But when I put that shit on, y'all are like, what? And he carries guns and he can fight? I speak to your soul. See, they practice inception on you. And they made you think that's toxic. But something in you is like, I just can't get away from it. I like him. And that's why a lot of Americans identify with Trump. I'm not saying that this means that myself or Trump or anybody is without fault. I'm telling y'all, they put something in your head that is in opposition to your genetics. When a woman sees a dude with shoulders and that is strong and can communicate effectively, which is why I keep telling you men that are fat, out of shape, and don't know how to talk or shoot, I keep telling y'all join the Solutionary 9. It's not difficult, meaning it's simple. You just have to be consistent. When a woman sees a man that can articulate well, that has self-control, that is in the gym, that can help her improve, it makes her go, he's going to handle things. That's it. We're going to call it toxic as the media. And I just embrace it. I go, cool, I'm everything that you think I am. And you still like me. I'm actually kind of just like Russell Wilson. I read a lot. I'm in shape. I could do a bunch of stuff. And I'm a good person to women. But I'm a leader for sure. Okay? Saying this to say, the Trump administration, when they said Kamala's for they, them, and I'm for you, that speaks to something. And her response in this book is exactly what it means. What it means is the general public was not okay with that extreme end of either side of the pendulum. Even she's now trying to go, ho, ho, ho. You gays is cool and all, but we ain't going that far. Partially because sections of the so-called progressive movement allowed their movement to go from being moderate. JFK, who's actually my favorite president of all time, was a Democrat, moderate, opposing the system, pushing back against the Federal Reserve. That was JFK. Okay? So y'all allowed this movement to get hijacked and go so far that now they trying to rebrand. Now her book comes out, prepping 1, 2, maybe 3 years going into potential election season. You understand? So now she's going to mirror some of these talking points. Gavin Newsom is on Sean Ryan talking about he's pro-gun. And I'm a little disappointed in Sean Ryan because he didn't give him no pushback. Gavin Newsom, you're not fucking pro-gun. Stop it. You're anti-gun. Sean Ryan gifted him a SIG. He ain't give him no pushback. They're attempting to appear to be more balanced. They're attempting to do it. Do not fall for it, solutionaries. Look at their history. There's history of anti-gun, use everybody around, throw them away when you're not, useful anymore, contradict yourself. You have to remember their story. Gavin Newsom is not balanced. Gavin Newsom is not pro-gun. Gavin Newsom is the same governor of California. I know it seems like a long time ago. In 2020, that told all of the wineries and restaurants in California that they had to shut down, but his winery and restaurant was allowed to stay open. These people are sociopaths. And they pretend like they're trying to be moderate. And that's what this is. Don't fall for it. Let's read a little bit more. Including Gavin Newsom, President Donald Trump's campaign hammered Harris over her positions on trans rights, releasing a now famous ad with the tagline, Kamala's for they, them. I am for you. That Democrats across the country, including Governor Gavin Newsom, acknowledged were effective. But Harris argues the Trump campaign misrepresented her positions, including on youth sports. No, they didn't. You just got swept up in you thought the LGBTQ community and the pro-gay community, along with, fused with, and merged with, unorganically with the black community, and mix a little bit of sprinkle a little bit of entertainment on top. You thought that was going to be enough because that's what they think about the demographic. We give them a cause to rally behind. We don't give them any legislation. But again, that's your fault. You do not ask these politicians to be held accountable to anything because you don't take a fucking civics class. So you don't even know what you should be holding them accountable to. You don't even know that when the Biden administration was in office, they sued the state of Texas because the state of Texas has the right to defend its borders from mass migration. They sued to make sure that the state of Texas could not stop unlawful immigration into the state of Texas. That happened. The Kamala Harris Biden administration did that. But meanwhile, while they was acting like they your homies and merging your community with the LGBTQ plus transgender agenda, as if you asked for that in black communities, Democrat cities, as if you asked for that, they at the same time was giving you no legitimate legislation from the same woman that said, I'm not going to sit up here and tell y'all I'm going to do something for the black people. What the fuck is wrong with y'all memory? I ain't forget it. But now they're going to try to rebrand. Candace Owens rebranded. She don't talk about black people as much. She done moved on to the Jews. It's the Jews. When you first come in, the easiest demographic to make fun of, that's why I get so much pushback. And that's also why so many of them are afraid of me. Don't say the wrong shit about black people. I happen to be black, champ. We Americans for sure. I'm going to hold you to that standard of e pluribus unum, the motto of the American thing for a very long time. One from many. I'm going to hold you to the poem. Of give us your poor, your tired, your huddled masses. I'm going to hold you to the standard of the Constitution. Nowhere in the Constitution does slavery, race, none of that shit is in there. None of it. So that's why they scared of me. And I got shoulders and shit. I got fucking shoulder privilege. I got handsome privilege. I got black privilege. I got white privilege. I'm damn near Blade. I'm damn near the Daywalker. I get to all of the vampire superpowers and I could be out in the sun tanning. So they get scared. But that's why we all have to be solutionaries, because y'all as solutionaries have those same superpowers, because you're being objective and you tapping in and you see the bullshit. This right here is them gearing up in a rebrand, and it's bullshit. Watch pretty soon she start talking about she pro-gun. Y'all just seen, what's her name down in Texas? What's the one with the big eyelashes? She represents one of the districts in Texas, Jasmine Crockett. She now talking about she pro-gun. RFK Jr., when he was running for president this go round, acted like he was pro-gun. RFK Jr. is anti-gun. Stop. Fazimo, I don't care. That's why he wrote it. But listen, it says, quote, I agree with the concerns expressed by parents and players that we have to take into account biological factors such as muscle mass and unfair student athletic advantage when we determine who plays on which teams, especially in contact sports. Harris writes, with goodwill and common sense, I believe we can come up with ways to do this without vilifying and demonizing children. This is the stance that damn near every conservative was having as they were pushing back against this extreme transgender, let me read sex stories to your child in the library shit. Bookworm says, tell me how you got white privilege. Boy, I'm an American. White is a class here. I'm over a certain financial class and status. I promise y'all, I'm not making this up. Go look at it. White is a class status in this corporate structure. I tell people kiss my white ass all the time. I know who I am. I have massive levels of knowledge of self. I read the ISIS papers in high school. Come on, bro. This ain't the Browder files from Nile Valley Contributions to Civilization. Man, I'll take y'all all the way back to, don't make me pull out my Shea anti-jupe. They came before Columbus. Don't let me get in that bag. I got knowledge of self, 1,000. I know what I am. Come on. However, I understand the class structure. I have white privilege. I do. If you know how to do certain things. All right, let's reverse it. Who's the best white basketball player right now? Any great white basketball player right now got black privilege. That's it. You got black privilege. You know how to hoop. And black people drop we run like basketball. On the playing tip, like, come on. If you, Jason Williams from back in the day from the Sacramento Kings, the Joker got black privilege. That's it. All my white homies that could dance real good and know urban music, you got a certain level of black privilege. They literally tell y'all. They go, oh, he's invited to the cookout. My white privilege was cemented when I was on the CPAC stage speaking right before Trump. That's the most white privilege shit. I got it. I got it all, baby. I got it all. I want y'all to come. My black friends, I want you to get some of this white privilege. My white friends, I want you to come get some of this black privilege. Season your food properly. Know your role. Fucking get in the sun. Strengthen your melanin intake levels. Decalcify your pineal gland as much as possible. And come on, we in there. And we all become Americans. You understand? That's what you have to hold them to. You got to hold them to that. But when you let people like this try to fake rebrand, there's a difference between evolving as a person and knowing. If you go from anti-gun to pro-gun, I need to know the story that goes along with how you got from A to B. These people don't do that. They just disappear for a little bit and come back with a different tune because they really recognize that the thing that they were chasing and trying to use never worked. This thing that the Trump could pull it off because Trump already had a certain level of base. There will be no other GOP, Republican, whatever, that is allowed to get away with so much shit that Trump gets away with, because Trump had a 40-year build of his base individually. He just started to label it MAGA. But when he do goofy shit, like right now, he's advocating for like Operation Warp Speed was good. A lot of that actual Make America Great people go, I'm not with that. But he's about to be out in a couple of years, so it won't matter. They're trying to rebrand to appear to be more balanced. That is a lie. That is a lie. This passage makes Harris the latest national Democrat to question the fairness of allowing transgender athletes to compete in girls' sports. Common sense. No. The answer is no. Anybody that says the opposite, you're wrong. You're dumb and you're wrong. That's it. Okay? This passage makes Harris the latest national Democrat to question the fairness of allowing transgender athletes to compete in girls' sports. Newsom broke with much of his party earlier this year by saying he felt their participation was deeply unfair, spurring both fury and praise from fellow Democrats and presaging a battle with the Trump administration over a transgender California athlete who competed in the state track and field championship. It is smart to see the ground. If you're on a dying platform and you see the ground shrinking underneath your feet, it's smart. Even if you're doing it like a shapeshifter and you're not really trying to be the thing, it's smart to at least appear like you are. Big Rob just brought up a great point. Everytown for Gun Safety is literally now teaching firearms basics. Is that because they're Second Amendment supporters? Absolutely not. Are they going to say we support the Second Amendment? Absolutely they are, but they're fucking lying. It's smart. It's just as smart as me going, I'm going into blue cities. I'm not going to be disrespectful to the people there. I'm going to teach them about firearms and watch how many new people start buying firearms. I did it. It's smart. I have intelligence privilege. Okay? These are the things that you have to do. It makes sense to do it this way. But mine's is actually genuine. Theirs is Everytown for Gun Safety has a $33 million budget. There's 416 of y'all watching right now. Everybody give $100. Everybody give $10. Everybody give whatever you want. Why? Because we're up against Everytown for Gun Safety. Because after we've been whipping their ass in a demographic, they said, we're going to start. They changed their CEO. It's a black woman with locks now. I'm not making this up. Go look. They said, we're going to change how we do this. We're going to get a black woman that looks trustworthy. We're going to get her to be the person. Now we're going to start teaching firearms basics. That's literally what Everytown for Gun Safety does. And on top of that, they got $33 million in a budget from the last year and some change, maybe two. So I'm telling y'all, GiveSendGo.com/solutionary, support the work. This is a very skilled, do not get it twisted. These people are unserious on one level, okay? On one level, these people are unserious. Kamala Harris, in this excerpt, is not a serious person. But what they represent is very serious. They are not the Iron Bank. They are not the people pulling the levers. They're vying for a position. They are very smart. And don't get it twisted. Kamala Harris, if y'all watch Kung Fu movies, the drunk monkey's a technique. She's the drunk Indian monkey. Sorry, guys. Y'all gonna get mad at me for saying it. She's a drunk Indian monkey. She lulling you to sleep, acting like, and then that drunk Indian monkey whip your ass. Because y'all think she just, and she drinks. We see her, lush. She like Nancy Pelosi. They drunk monkeys, period. Period. But they busting your ass. Nancy Pelosi goes in, I know how much DC politicians make in DC. I talked to Thomas Massey. They make $170,000 a year. Nancy Pelosi, there's a stock tracker that says you should mirror what Nancy Pelosi invests in. She is 1,000% doing insider trading. 1,000%. And she drunk all of the time. You don't get a net worth of $300 million from a job that pay you $170 a year and you too much of an idiot. You ain't that dumb. I need some of that dumb. I need to drink what they drinking. Okay? My point in saying this to y'all is this is just a clever rebrand. Do not fall for it. Let's play it back. I want to play it back real quick, and then we're going to wrap up. I want to play this back for y'all. Let's see what she said. And we're going to wrap up. Guys, givesendgo.com/solutionary. This is who some of y'all wanted. This is her coming out moment of, I don't like you gays. This is her coming out moment. This is Kamala Harris telling gay woman Rachel Maddow, I didn't get Pete Buttigieg as my vice presidential candidate because he's too gay. Rachel Maddow's off top. She's lost for words.
Just elaborate on that a little bit. It's hard to hear. With you running as, you're the first woman elected vice president. You're a black woman and a South Asian woman elected to that high office, very nearly elected president.
Was not very nearly elected. We're going to remix all of this. She got her ass whipped. Popular, all of that.
He couldn't be on the ticket effectively because he was gay. It's hard to hear. That's not what I said. That he couldn't be on the ticket because he is gay.
Yes, you did.
My point, as I write in the book, is that.
Oh, somebody said the audio super low.
In 107 days, in one of the most hotly contested elections for president of the United States, against someone like Donald Trump who knows no flaw, to be a black woman running for president of the United States and as a vice presidential running mate, a gay man, the stakes being so high, it made me very sad, but I also realized it would be a real risk.
Kamala don't like you fags. That's it. She doesn't like you. She don't like your L's. She don't like your G's. She don't like your B's. She don't like your T's, your Q's, your elemental P's. She don't like you. She used you. And she's telling you that's the reason why Pete Buttigieg, who I thought was dope, I thought he was a great public servant, he was only there to make sure my fashion choices was on point. You gays are stuck in a box with the Democrats. They want you for your vote. They want you for your television shows. They're going to sip and paint with you. They're going to get you some wine and some cheese and some popcorn. Y'all going to watch Scandal together. But we are not going to put you in a position of power. That's it.
No matter how, I've been an advocate and an ally of the LGBT community.
I love you. I love you, gay. I love the gays. I'm cool with the gays. I have tons of gay friends. Just what you think of y'all.
So it wasn't about any prejudice on my part, but that we had such a short period of time, and the stakes were so high.
The stakes were high. I'm gonna stop saying fag because I don't want to offend my faggot friends. I don't want to offend them. And I mean like my friends that identify as that word. I don't want to offend them. That's not my intent. Those dudes, I don't want to offend them. The homosexual community is 1,000% being used by the Democrat Party, and they do not value you at all. They don't. You are a voting block. That's it. Your movement for respect, your movement for choosing the partner that you want to choose has been co-opted, hijacked, and utilized to an end. But you are a means to an end. What I would recommend is you look into independent folks, you look into libertarians, and you start holding your public servants accountable to absolute legislation that is going to be in alignment with your respect for who you are as a person. I don't care what you do with your genitalia. I don't care. I'm not there, bro. I don't care what you do. I do not care. The bubble gum that I have right here means more to me than 10 of you and your sexual choices. I don't care. I could not, if you paid me, I could not care less. Could not care less. You should care about the people that create policy that can impact your life. You should. And if you don't, there's something wrong with you. Anyway, y'all, let's go and wrap up. I'm about to get in the DMs. GiveSendGo.com/solutionary. Support the work. Email me. Some of y'all are going to get mad at me tonight. That's fine. You can't beat me. There's nothing you can do to me. I could fight. I could roll on a Brazilian jiu-jitsu mat. And you might be upset, but let's have some civil discourse, all right? If you want to jump in the email or sign up for the newsletter, if you want to agree with me, disagree with me, sign up for the Solutionary newsletter, shoot me an email, shoot me a DM. I promise y'all, I'm saying this aggressively and y'all are listening to me, but the reality is you can't call me a liar on this. They are utilizing you. We have to utilize ourselves. If you want to support the work, Second Amendment work, community work, strengthening our community work, if you know a young lady that needs, or one of the gays that wants to defend themselves, you don't want to get gay bashed. If you want to take a class for free, hit me up, shoot me a DM. I don't care what you are, what you do. I care that you defend what you believe in and you defend your property, and your highest property is your body. That's why we have the classes. GiveSendGo.com/solutionary. I appreciate you all for tapping in. Share the space all over the place. I will see y'all, other than the ones of y'all that DM me or email me. I will see y'all. I'm going to get a phone call after this. I already know. I'm going to get a phone call. Oh, you said. I already know. It's happening. All right. Nonetheless, GiveSendGo.com/solutionary. I will see you all tomorrow at the same time, same channel. Be safe. Be solutionary.